A few more double faults creeping into Bjorkman's game. That's his fifth. And that will be worrying for him because he'll have to serve at his best in the fifth set. I suppose I shouldn't assume there'll be a fifth set, but no, I can't see even the fighting qualities of the Swede getting him out of this scrape. Yeah, that's long, so Bjorkman has avoided the dreaded bagel, the love set.
Yes, it's almost as if neither sort of has the recipe for what to do when you're in a situation like this. Agassi not sure whether to run it out or almost being a little fatalistic about things, and Bjorkman not sure whether to let Agassi have it or whether to fight. Ball sounded broken. Really middled it.
And Agassi a little lethargic on the far baseline. Not too far away. We reached the 2-hour mark, so you can tell that we really are getting on with this match. Set point for 2 sets all. For the second time in the tournament, the second seed will have to go the distance. His camp looked pretty pleased, as they might well do, with his performance in that fourth set. We'll take a break and be back for the fifth after this. The fifth and final set coming up between Jonas Bjorkman and Andre Agassi. And given the way the Swede lost his way at the start of the fourth, very important for Bjorkman, one suspects, to hold this game. That's the ideal start. 10th ace.
He's got a terrific 5-set record, Bjorkman. Looking up in the book, he's played 8 and won 7 of them. Agassi not so good. He's lost 11 and only won 8.
Yes, of course, Bjorkman's had 2 5-set wins in this first week. Really in the first round, Todd Martin in the last round. Mind you, Agassi's had 1 5-set win.
Yes, they won't be in the book, of course. So he'll be 9 and 1 now. And again, much as Agassi started the match, really not that crisp Agassi return.
Well, that's a very impressive start to the 5th set from Jonas Bjorkman. A love service game. Concentration right back there. I suppose that again illustrates the pugilistic nature of the man, as you've been calling it through, that he loves a good scrap and prepared to scrap it all the way, and also shows he must be pretty fit to have that sort of 5-set record.
Yes, well, he always strikes me, and whenever I've seen him out practicing, he certainly works very, very hard at his game. And of course, those are the thoughts that you want to have with you as you are in the 5th set. And there certainly was a time before last year when, and the record speaks for that, where Agassi was very vulnerable in the 5th set, because you know that he just didn't put the work in on the practice court. But Brad Gilbert certainly turned that around. But even while thinking about that, let's remember that Agassi hasn't, this tournament apart, really had any tennis or great tennis for 4 months. And as he himself says, you cannot simulate match play on the practice court. You just don't have those sort of pressures. You can't tell yourself, for instance, that you've got to go out and play tiebreakers. Tiebreakers in a match can be so tense, there's no way you can simulate them.
Five, please. Ready to play. Thank you.
We'll have to play a tiebreak in this match because, of course, we don't play one in the 5th if we get to 6-all. Yes, didn't do enough on the volley that time. Bit too obvious. And certainly too short.
15 love.
Well, the sort of signs one watches for in the 3rd set for any sort of tiredness, or whether people stay with their shots. If they start lifting their head a bit and obviously not covering the ball, then they're weary and nervous.
He turns his back.
Ready, 15.
Agassi's still irritated and missing his first serves.
Two sets all then and 1-all. I suppose the one thing that is in Agassi's favour, if they're looking for whether he's tired or not, is that this has been a very quick match. The longest set was the 3rd set, 39 minutes. And they're only just over the 2-hour mark. You heard that with the last set of Courier Woodbridge the other night was, I think, 91 minutes. Admittedly, it was a long set, an 8-6 set. But the points have been pretty quick. Yes.
I think when Bjorkman makes forehand winners, it's the sort of shot that he tends to remember a bit more even than his backhand, because he doesn't make as many from that side.
earlier.
Well, it was at 10 point this, right in the corner.
Yeah. Want to serve short and high to Agassi's forehand, or to the backhand for that matter. From 30 love to 30-40.
And this sort of predicament really illustrates the sadness for Bjorkman of losing that last set so badly. Had he applied the pressure as well early in that set, it may have been a very different story.
Well done. Twelve break points in the match Bjorkman saved.
A very strange shot in the middle of that rally by Agassi. A high and nothing one.
Well, the Australian lady putting the Swedes in their place.
Quite nice.
Well, what a strange shot from Agassi, but that one worked for him.
Yes, it had a bit more depth on it, that one, didn't it?
Please, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Second break point.
First service.
Unlucky. Was a net, no doubt about that. I'm sure you heard it as well. Missed by a whisker the previous time. I suppose there's no great need to adjust the sights. Go for the same spot again. 11th ace. Another break point saved.
Well, I wonder when Agassi can look back at a match and see so many break points lost or not taken. But I think it's this man really that's been the real stumbling block.
First service.
Oh, brilliant Agassi, starting with the service return. And suddenly now this match has reached an altogether higher plane, because although it's been exciting, obviously going to 5 sets, we haven't really had a sustained period when both of them have been playing well at the same time. They're close.
And Bjorkman.
All credit to Bjorkman. 3 break points. He survived in that game. The Swede moves in front once again by 2-1 in the 5th and final set. Bubbling up nicely here on the centre court of Flinders Park. Andre Agassi 1-2 down on serve in the 5th set against Jonas Bjorkman.
Oh, just an outstanding point, and Agassi in a hurry to get on with the next point, trying to forget it. If you think about it, it would be painful.
Yes, we've certainly seen some brilliant service returning from both of them. Done all the hard work there, Bjorkman, and got the ball on his favoured backhand. But backhand's been a little more erratic of late. Trying the squash shot, but there's too much on it. And the value illustrated there of the really high defensive lob.
Yes, and also the value of control. Just amazing that he should get it in the corner like those topspin offensive lobs he's played, which seem to go nowhere else but in the corner.
2 sets all, 2 games all.
Because of that knee injury incurred during the tournament, he wasn't able to do nearly as much pre-match practicing. Certainly up until before his match with Brian in the last round, he hadn't practiced very much at all. But he's getting all the practice he needs now on court.
Yes. Oh, wonderful return. Moved to it quickly that time. So how many more break points can Jonas Bjorkman survive?
15-14.
Well, at least one more. 14 now he saved in the match. Can he make it 15? Needs to. Oh, this statistic may haunt Agassi tonight, particularly if he were to lose.
Incredible, isn't it? I posed the question earlier, but I suppose people like Sampras and Ivanisevic can save them, but then they tend to do that with big serving, with aces. This man hasn't served that many.
And
11 aces in 5 sets.
It's not quite the Philippoussis strike rate. Yes. Thought there should have been a call earlier in the rally on that line.
Well, Bjorkman, for the main part, is matching Agassi with power from the back of the court, which is pretty unusual.
Just that little brush on the net cord made it easier for Agassi. Just took some of the sting out of the forehand.
Yes, and made Bjorkman not too sure, because obviously that's not what he planned in the point.
Yes, another chance for Agassi. Threw the ball way too much to the left there. Pulled off the approach shot. He played the point so well, and Agassi at last takes an opportunity and moves in front in the fifth. 3-2, and one wonders whether that might just be the decisive moment.
Well, of course, the great difference between the fourth and the fifth set is that if Bjorkman had played like this at the beginning of the fourth, there really is some doubt in my mind as to whether Agassi might have hung in there, because for him it meant 2 more sets going at that sort of pace. Whereas once you go into a 5th set, if you're in Agassi in this sort of mind, you must surely think, well, what the hell, I may as well give my damnedest here, because there can obviously only be 1 set, so I'm going to stay in and battle. And I think all the more pity therefore that Bjorkman just didn't play this sort of tennis in the 4th set, because it has been spirited stuff, and really I think quite remarkable. I didn't give him much of a chance, and he certainly disproved me, and I'm sure at the same time proved to himself that he can stroke ground strokes as well as serve and volley like a doubles player.
Well, the blonde hair in the second row is his doubles partner, Jan Appel, and I presume under the cap, although I didn't really recognise him. He's their coach, Frederick Rosengren. He can be well proud of their man's efforts, and let's hope that they aren't over yet. Agassi's lost his serve a number of times in the match, so he's not home and dry yet. 3-2 though, he leads.
15 love.
Might have heard a little squeal from Agassi, put under a lot of pressure, and really he's putting himself under pressure again. Missed first serve.
Yes, he's barely over the 50% mark. Yes, that was on the line.
It really gnaws away at you, because you do the good work of breaking, and then you feel you're letting yourself down. I think Agassi looks upon himself like that. That sort of serving.
Well, talk about an oasis in a desert. Third ace. Disappointment this time for Bjorkman. He had half a chance at 15-30.
Yes, it is 5 against 2.
2-4 then in the 5th. Well, there for Andre coming forward to miss time a service return like that.
Certainly still a lot of punch in the Bjorkman serve. No signs of wilting at all here.
Oh dear. He did so well to cope with the service return. I suppose he was almost surprised that the lob wasn't going to go over the top of his head and land in the corner again. No, well played, Agassi.
He was brilliant there. Wonderful footwork.
Stunning. Now this really is crisis time as we watch again Agassi lashing into that service return. Crisis time for Bjorkman, facing the point for the double break. And that, I suspect, is that. One break of serve down in the fifth, you feel you can fight your way back. 2 breaks down, you're in trouble. So through, let's do what we shouldn't do and speculate and say that Agassi is now going to win this match. Courier in the quarters. That's interesting.
Well, it's unpredictable only because one can't quite read Agassi's mind. I think last year at this stage it was a lot easier to read it. I thought he would play this match, for instance, as he's played this last set, and I thought that if he did, he'd win in 3 straight sets. The fact is, though, that Agassi hasn't, and admittedly a lot of it's been due to Bjorkman's quite scintillating play, perhaps against the odds. But there's still a big question mark over Agassi's mind, and I'm convinced if Agassi's mind is as it is in the 5th set against Courier, assuming he wins this, then he'll beat Courier. But if it is as it's been for the whole of this match, then he has much more of an uphill task.
First of all, though, he still has to finish off the fighter. Bjorkman has shown himself once again to be. And he's still going to fight to the last.
59.
Yes, both his previous 5 setters, he was 2 sets to 1 up and then had the psychological blow of losing the 4th, and yet was able to come back and win.
Just a 4th ace from Agassi. And 2 of them have come in rapid succession.
never as easy as you think and hope it's going to be when you serve for the match. The other chap always seems to have something in reserve.
Well, another terrific rally, just overcooked it at the end, and Andre Agassi looks as if he's going to escape once more. Match point.
White, please. Thank you. Ready to play. White, please.
Yes, at full stretch on the last point, at full stretch for much of the match. But Agassi, for a second time in the tournament, has come through in 5 sets. And he advances the defending champion to the quarterfinal to play the 2 times champion, Jim Courier.
Didn't seem to have the strength to run up to the net, did he? But he may be short of match practice, he may be short of practice prior to matches. But he certainly can't be too short of hitting balls across the net after all this tennis. So perhaps in the end it's done him some good.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next match on centre court. So the men's singles clash between
He'll race on his feet. They must be very relieved that Andre has come through another difficult one in 5 sets.
Bjorkman for his efforts today in his 5-set match against the defending men's champion Andre Agassi.